Hey everyone, I'm Scylla,
I'm Shannon.
and we're
Normal Suburban Moms.
So today's video is going to probably get a little intense. Been watching a lot of YouTube over the last couple of days since we're on winter break. We're both teachers, so winter break has started for us, and I have a bit of a foot injury, so I've spent a lot of time just chilling, watching YouTube, and came across a channel that I've heard a lot about, but never really sat down and watched many of his videos. Repsion and Mr. Repsion, who I absolutely adore now. We agree on so much, it's kind of scary. And I went back and watched some Jacqueline Glenn and Blair White videos that I've seen before. And you might be able to figure out where this is going now, because one of the biggest topics they have in common as far as what they cover is another YouTuber known as Onision, Greg, James.
Whatever he wants to be called today.
And we know that Onision videos, response videos, have been done ad nauseum. However, one thing I haven't seen is a parental perspective on Onision. And I can tell you, watching Repsion's videos as a mom of a teenager, we had feelings.
Yes. Mostly like rage feelings.
A lot of rage. So first thing I want to start with is actually a screenshot of one of Repsion's videos. And I'll have the whole video linked down below in the description, so you can go watch the whole video. I definitely recommend it. It covers everything in a lot of detail. Details that we may not go into because we really are looking at it specifically from the perspective of a parent. That being said, so this is the video on Repsion's page. It's called Onision, the forums that started it all. It goes into about his forums and everything. This video is only 7 months old. It's from this year. And evidently this is, I believe this is from Reddit or some other community, but I think it's Reddit. Anyway, you can see the post says, "My girl is only 13. She has an iPad that her and I share. She also has a smartphone that she is allowed to use. I can go through it if I want to, but I feel like privacy is an important thing. Her pictures get uploaded from her phone to the iPad. I looked through them and found many photos in her underwear. She had a word I've never seen written on her stomach. It was Onision. I immediately asked her about it. She told me he is a YouTuber that promotes body positivity and posts videos of girls' bodies that they submit to him from his forums. I looked through his forums and found thread upon thread of girls my daughter's age posting nearly naked pics of themselves to be validated by this man. I was livid. It really looks like he's just trying to get scantily clad pics of young girls. I looked into him more. He apparently has a penchant for young girls. His wife was only 17 when he met her. Be aware of what your kids are doing online." And I just have to say, definitely, as a parent, be aware of what your kids are doing online. Our daughter is 14. She's in the same age range as the girl that this father was talking about. The idea of some 30-some-year-old creeper seeing pictures of my daughter in her bra and underwear or a bikini, or even, as Onision likes to point out, a sports bra
and leggings.
Not okay. Not okay. Not okay.
Not okay for him to then objectify and rate and validate that person's body.
Now, to be clear, I think it's sick that he's doing this at all with any woman, because who is he to say who's fat, who's thin, who's this, who's that, who needs to work on their body? And if you're looking for validation from a YouTuber, that is something you'd want to look inside yourself. That said, if you're over 18, you make your own choices. You do you, boo. What we're specifically looking at is the under 18. And I know that Onision tries to say, oh, my forums say 18 plus. Well, that's all well and good. That's a CYA. Because if you actually go into the forums, there is post after post after post after post of girls saying, I'm 14, I'm 15, I'm 16. Some as young as 13, even 12. And
so if he's looking at these forums, he knows that they're underage.
Mm-hmm. There was a girl that has been talked about widely. In fact, Repsion covers it in the video that I have linked below. The sister of one of these high school girls actually messaged him and said, hey, my sister is in your video, please remove her, she's underage. And he never did. My understanding, I haven't looked, but my understanding is that the forums are now gone because of the Chris Hansen, we'll call it debacle. I think that was screwed up on both sides, and that's for another video. I have opinions on what Chris Hansen did or didn't do, and he has his own atonement to make. This is about Onision and what he does to young girls, and whether or not he's doing it anymore, who knows? But the fact that this ever happened is not okay. The fact that he's looked at state laws to see if he can sleep with a girl, what the age of consent is not okay. The fact that he is grooming girls, and yes, I know he denies grooming, but as two educators, we have been educated on what grooming is. According to Greg, because he didn't sleep with these girls, it's not grooming. That is not true. Grooming is any predatory behavior that's trying to program a young person. And to be clear, boys get groomed too. It's not just girls. Onision seems to favor girls. But any child can be groomed. And they're basically programmed. It starts off small. They might just get a little bit of attention from the adult, and it makes them feel good. It might be simple compliments. And then it escalates. And whether it escalates all the way to actual intercourse or not is irrelevant.
And also, Onision is in a unique position of power, not only because he is older than these girls, but because of his celebrity YouTube status.
He's an influencer. Whether we like to acknowledge that fact or not, he is. And as an influencer, some of these girls idolize him for whatever reason, and he uses that. It gives him an edge from the moment he makes contact. Mm-hmm. It's really disturbing. This hit home for me because, well, because our daughter's been through some stuff.
Excuse me.
I'm going to stick to the internet side of things. For now, there's a lot of stuff that it's personal that we're just not going to get into, but I will get into what happened a couple of summers ago when our daughter was 12. Was she 12 or 13? Was this last summer? It was. She was 13.
Was it last summer?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was 13. COVID threw everything off, but It was the summer before COVID. So she was 13. The same age as the parent of this girl that was branding herself with Onision's name. And to be clear, I don't think my child has internet privacy. I don't. As long as she's living in my house, I am within my rights to look at her texts, her phone, her computer, her browser history, whatever. A lot of this is because I was a teenager in the early part of the internet, the late 90s.
The wild, wild west.
Yes.
Of the internet.
The AOL days. I remember the AOL chat rooms.
I remember the Yahoo chat rooms.
I remember what I did.
I was someone's wife at 13 in a Yahoo chat room.
Yeah, we were we were teenagers in the late 90s, early 2000s when the internet was just becoming a social thing. Back in the days of AOL. Predates MySpace. I'm aging us.
Oh, well.
So because I know what I did, I monitor our daughter very closely. And even I almost missed something. So not this past summer, but the summer before. So
Hold on. Sorry. I just want to clarify something because I know people get ideas and go off in the comments. When I say wife, I mean I met up with the same people in this chat room day after day. And he called me his wifey. He was a grown man, but he knew my age, and he was never inappropriate with me. It was funny. So I just wanted to clear that up.
Stuff I did online wasn't always so innocent, and as a kid, I didn't know any better. And looking back, I'm damn lucky nothing bad happened to me. Those are stories for another day.
But anyway, back
so
to your thing.
Summer 2019. Yeah, it was summer 2019. 2019 was a crap year all around, but anyway, I digress. So summer 2019, our daughter went to summer camp, and during this time, I decided to pull out her laptop and take a look at it. I monitored her phone pretty closely, but I hadn't checked into her laptop in a while. So I figured while she was gone, it was a good time to poke around. And up until that point, when I poked around on her stuff, the worst that had ever happened is I may have caught her in a lie. She may have told us something and then told her friends the truth, and so we would bust her. And so up to this point, that's the worst thing that had happened. So I didn't really expect to find anything, and boy, was I wrong. I found an app called Discord, which at the time I was unfamiliar with. I'm much more familiar with it now. I know it's used for a variety of different things, but we have certain rules regarding internet usage, and not very many, but one of the big ones is that she can't talk to anybody she doesn't know in person, or that we don't know in person. Just because we want to know who our kid's talking to, because of what we've experienced as teenagers ourselves. So anyway, so I find out on Discord that she is talking to this man, yes, man, he claims he's in his 20s and that he lives in Europe. And the conversations they were having, I definitely saw grooming behaviors. I went and read all of their old messages, and it started out innocent, and I could see the buildup that was happening. And he did talk her into sending a picture of herself to him, clothed, but then it was getting, I could tell it was slowly starting to get more and more explicit. And by the time the conversations, they didn't stop, but by the time the end of the conversations, because she had gone to camp, there had been some sexual discussion. Thank goodness nothing too over the top, but definitely inappropriate for a man to be discussing with a 13-year-old. And so I took it upon myself to pretend to be my daughter. And I talked to this guy for, what, about 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
Yeah.
And just kept the conversations going. Didn't do anything leading. I didn't escalate it on my own. I just responded in kind. And sure enough, it got to a point that it was getting very sexually explicit. Exactly like I expected it would. And so when she got home from camp, she was in trouble. There was no internet for a while. Once we explained everything and like broke down the grooming process, she saw what had been happening, and it scared her because she hadn't recognized it until we broke it down for her. So thank goodness I don't suspect we'll have that issue again.
Mm-hmm.
But it terrified me to think of what could have happened if I hadn't been looking around her computer and she had kept talking to him on her own.
Yeah.
And this had escalated to that point and it wasn't really me on the other end. Would she have sent more explicit pictures? Would he have sent her a plane ticket?
Yeah, would he have convinced her to meet up with him somewhere?
The possibilities were endless and endlessly terrifying. And from what I can tell, it sounds like this is the same type of behavior Onision exhibits. He grooms these young girls. He eventually pays for them to fly to see him. With that girl, Sarah, he took guardianship of her. He took advantage of the fact she had a crap home life and got guardianship of her, moved her in. And for all of the ways he says that he wasn't grooming, there is at least a screen capture. Whether the tweet is still up or not, I don't know. But there is a tweet that at least once existed by his then spouse, then wife, now husband, then known as Lainey, now known as Kai, telling Sarah, "I'm grooming you nicely." And you're going to tell me you didn't know you were grooming her, Greg?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to break this down. As a mom, if Onision ever came near our daughter, even in cyberspace, there would be hell to pay. And our channel may not be very big yet, but I hope upon hope that this video somehow gets to Greg. Because, Greg, I am putting you on notice. If I see any of this crap again with underage girls, I will be coming down on you with the wrath of every mom of every girl you've ever hurt. I will not stop until I find something that is actually illegal, that will put you in jail. Because you might be good at skirting the line, but everybody slips up and I will find it. Do not mess with teenage girls. Their moms may not be as tech savvy, they may not know, but I know. What you do with 18 plus, they're women. I may not like it, but that's on them. Kids, don't mess with them. I'll be everyone's mom if I have to.
Yeah.
So, if you don't want to see a Mothers Against Onision group started, stay away from teenagers. Full stop. I will link some videos down below that go a little bit more into detail, not just Repsions. Also a video from Jacqueline Glenn that I really liked. So check that down in the description below. And look for more content coming from us. Hopefully a little bit lighter since we are on winter break.
Yeah.
We do want to get some some videos up on our channel. So like, subscribe, share. Please share this video because I really do want it to get back to Greg. He doesn't know us, but if he doesn't stop, he will. And that's all I have to say. Other than if you are a teenage girl and you're watching this and you're a fan of Onision,
Stay away from him.
stay away from him and don't let him validate you. Don't let him be what destroys your self-esteem.
You don't
young.
need him.
You're young and you're beautiful. And you don't need some man on the internet for your self-worth.
Nope.
Because you're awesome. Unless you're Onision. And then you're not. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.